Well, let me read some more here, okay? You wrote, I remembered my abusers once said I ruined their life because I was born, as if my very existence was the biggest problem in their life. Never mind that they had been ruining themselves before I was even a sperm yet. Listen, first thing I want to tell you, I'm sorry that whatever was done or said to you, that's wrong, very wrong. And why people would do that to a child, I have no, I don't understand it. But I'm gonna tell you something. I'm not the one to come out like that. If you would have came to me with a problem as a child, I would have took care of it. I would have took care of it. There would have been nothing I wouldn't have sacrificed to take care of it. So I'm sorry you had that. But you talked about being a person that just fought through it. Well, I thought, well, maybe she can help. But no, you can't. And here's where you go on. You have to recognize their problems started way before you. It's not easy to do because their lies were the one reality you get to see as a kid. Listen, it's like you're just kind of pushing the blame all the way back. It's like, okay, you're innocent and you didn't do nothing wrong, but the kids that came before you, they did something wrong. No, nobody done anything wrong. Everybody does the best that they can. Children do not come with manuals. We only have what we have. To whatever we have in our mind or whatever we have placed in our mind, which I placed and retaught and learned and watched people, and I took the good with me, like I said, and I left the bad back. I put up with a lot, especially coming from your I can't even call her a dimwit, because you know why? Because she's smart enough to manipulate people like you and a few other people who are sitting behind bars right now. So here's what's funny about what you said to me. It was funny. You said, so ask yourself, is it realistic to believe that without you or your siblings, realistically speaking, her life would be better? Would she have a mansion somewhere, spending summers in the French Riviera? Would she had the romance of a lifetime, millions of dollars in the bank? Here again, you don't know me at all. You don't know nothing. Would she have anything at all different for herself? If I had blamed anybody, there's a lot of decisions in my life and in everyone else's life that they did the wrong thing and they had to go back and redo it. I've learned that when you make a mistake, once you realize where you dropped it off at, you turn around and go back and pick it up and start over again, get it going. And because of that, let me tell you something. Like I said, you don't know me. I have had the romance of a lifetime. And I know, after stumbling around for a long time, my life is okay. I have a man that loves me. And even when I do something stupid or quirky or whatever I do, because I'm a little nutty, it doesn't matter to him. He either A, laughs at me, or, if I say something to him mean, because sometimes I do, he forgives me, because that's kind of what love is. That's the real thing. But now, do I think I should push that? No. Because people that love you can't walk away from you. They may love you, but they don't have to be around you, which is my choice with her. Forgiveness is not on the table for me, and I'll answer for that later on when I get there. But for now, it's not there. And there ain't nothing I can do to fix it. I can't deal with it right now. I'm not going to even try. She's at the bottom right now of that list. She needs to blame someone for things not going her way 100%. Might as well be your generation. A lot easier on her ego, I guess. What do you think in my life has not went my way? I have a home that I love, a beautiful home, about a month or so away from being paid off. My husband's going to retire. I retired early, and he's going to be retiring a little early. And how do you think we're doing that? You think it's because we sat on our butt or our ass and held our hand out for pity or begs or whatever? No, we planned and we taught. We learned. We learned. Can you imagine learning? Learning from your mistakes. We learned. Okay, if we keep taking money out, guess what? We're gonna run out. You can't we put money in a savings account for years, and guess what? We'd always take it out. But guess what? You can't go outside and pick money off of a tree because there is no such thing as a money tree. You keep getting it and it's going to be gone. If you're not putting it back in, you ain't going to have none. So you know what we learned? We learned. We learned to live off of one income even though there was two. And we learned, okay, we got to put this away and we got to just forget it's there. We invested when we could and we made some good ones and we made some bad ones. But I'm going to tell you something we learned. And we're going to be okay. We're okay now. And I'm thankful and grateful every day that I don't have to go to bed hungry. And that I don't have to be homeless. Because let me tell you something, smarty pants. I've been there. I've been there. And I know what it took not to be there. So don't judge anybody until you know the whole story. And you need to quit dyeing your hair because apparently it's affecting you like it has her. Now, you want to come at me, I don't care. Because I'm going to tell you something. I could turn this channel off any second and be fine. I could walk away from it and only come back to make a comment every now and then. Because she'll never have me shut up. Now, I can shut up and leave her ass alone if she will just shut that fucking mouth of hers about talking about my family as trash like that. Because that is not true. And I'm not going to have it. You want to talk about me, talk about me. But leave my family alone. Quit with them just doing what you're doing to a woman who gave you everything, and gave you love above all that. And you've taken it and you've thrown it on her. You've stomped on her grave if you want to be honest about it. My guess is you tried to dig her up to get the rings off her finger. I wouldn't put that past you. I need to check the reports down there to see if that happened because you probably did. I seen how you were. Oh. We had to have security for the funeral because of you and those are like you. Because isn't that sad? That's your girl there. Y'all two are friends. Y'all two peas in a pod. Two green peas in a pod. Nobody blames me. I ain't. And I'm happy with the way my life is. I've made mistakes and I've learned from them. But I'm going to tell you something. I've never hurt nobody. In fact, this is the first time in my life I've ever really spoke up to the point where I don't care if I hurt your feelings anymore. You know, I just don't care anymore. I've been nice all my life, and I've been just always trying to look for the good. And I'm going to tell you something. I've seen so much bad just with what Mary's doing and knowing that I know her and knowing that I know the truth. It's like in your face. Are you going to say something? Or are you going to let her keep on? Because she changed my attitude. Losing my daughter gave me a little less patience to put up with nonsense like that. Let me see where you end this. Well, no, so please don't think. I don't need Mary. Blame her for anything in my life that wasn't right. That's crazy. That's her, and obviously y'all. I mean, you're allowing her to blame everyone else for her problems, her laziness that she has today. Her blatantly, because someone, me, started out by telling her, think ahead, Mary, you got to think ahead. Because my mom wasn't going to be around forever. And money just don't grow. You can't just go out there and keep picking off the same thing. You got to get out there and add to it. But now, see, she didn't want to. And she made it a point back then, just like she has now. She's going to stand her ground. She ain't getting a job. She's going to spite me no matter what. You know, she talks about writing a book anonymously. You don't write an anonymous book and then put it all over the place where people that involved see it. Now, do you? Do you call anonymous putting it right on your Facebook account or your YouTube channel, making a point of advertising and publicizing, and then calling it the truth? You know, I went I sent numerous emails to the people that Smashwords. Well, you know what? They're just making money off people, which is fine. They can do that. This is the country we live in, and I discovered a lot about that type of publishing yourself kind of books. You know, it keeps the liability off of them because she's the publisher. She she's the whole shebang. So when it was a lie, and the fact that she put it under a true story, all of it was a lie. And she claims in the beginning of her book she can prove everything. She's proved nothing. She's proved nothing. And if you had paid attention, and if you would have thought, wonder where all them videos are of Mary's, you know what? You would see that. Now I don't need you to be nice to me. I really don't. I don't care if you do or don't. When I came in here, I came in here on my own. And let me tell you something, little Miss Green Hair thing. I can go out on my own too. Do I appreciate the people that's come into my life? You betcha I do. Because, see, I didn't expect them to come in. I didn't expect anyone to be nice to me. I didn't expect because I didn't know. I still don't know. I don't know nothing. Lord, I can't even figure out how to get back in Discord. You know, I don't know. It's not my generation. Which is more the reason why I am on here right now. It's from my children and grandchildren, which is a lot of them. They are the biggest achievement of my life. They are everything I ever wanted. See, not everybody wants to be famous or an actress or have all these certain dreams. I didn't want to be anything but what I am. You can't understand that. All I ever wanted was a family that I love and that would love me. And you know, I have that. My home is full of love and memories. When my daughter died, for a minute I wanted to sell it. But as I walked down the hall and I touched the walls, you know, I could feel that laughter and everything that we had built it on. Everything that I felt and others saw. I can't walk away from it. So don't discredit my life. It is what I want it to be. Did it take me a little longer to get where I needed to be? You bet, because I made a lot of mistakes. I'm self-taught. But do I regret any of it? Do I blame anybody? No, I don't. I'm grateful for the people that come into my life, which is something you and her ought to take a little bit of something from, because you're nothing without other people. Now, I would have been on here alone. And for anybody to think, I'm not a lonely old woman. I'm a very active old woman. Very. I stay busy. I stay in shape. Not because I want to, but because when you stay busy, guess what? It just kind of happens. In fact, I'm going to try to hula hoop again. I'm going to go get me one just because I was inspired by... Now, let's hope I don't knock my hip out. But you know what? I'm going to do it because I used to love to do it. I loved it myself. So you know what? And you can always learn when you're here, which is what I've been doing. Learning and growing, even at my age. Imagine that. Learning and growing. Maybe you two ought to be talking about that in therapy. Get in there and start talking about... Maybe y'all should change the rules and try to teach people to learn and grow. You know, it's not their fault when things happen when they're young. But it is their fault when they get into an adulthood, whether they choose to make a living off of being a victim. And listen, you come across... I'm not going to try to say this right, but she, which I'm thinking seriously about just going ahead and letting it all out there. Every story she has told, except for one, she has taken from other people. She has adopted everything that my mother went through, except for the birth of the child, and she's intertwined it. Because guess what? It gave her what she wants. And people like you, and even me, even to, you know, when I said I'd wait and look, and not to you, but I was thinking this, you done exactly the way we've always done. Just, you know, just let it go. We don't want to hear them cry. Lady, I got 13 grandchildren, And I would give them anything and everything so that they'd never have to hurt again. But guess what? My children, my grown children, they not babies, come to me one day and said, Mom, don't do that. My son would not let his son get a participation trophy in baseball. It tore me up because I didn't want him not to get one. I would have bought him one. Just not to see that hurt on his face. Well, you know what? My son taught him. You didn't put your best effort in it. And if you think that's some kind of big win, it's not. And you didn't lose because you're a loser. You lost because you just quit trying. And I'm gonna tell you something. He's an awesome kid right now. And when he plays or when he joins a sport or whatever he does, he puts it all out there. He's given everything he's got because his daddy taught him something. And my kids came to me and said, Mom, don't. We're not going to raise a bunch of kids that act like Mary. We're not doing that. So, Mom, please don't. So, you know what? I've stopped and shut up and let that. I've raised them. Now it's their children. They're right and I was wrong. And if I'm wrong about you, I promise you, you will get an apology from me, a sincere one. But I don't think I am. But if I am, and I was waiting to see, but please know I know that you're not helping her. You're not helping her at all. You're only hurting her and you're enabling her. And I encourage anyone that you have gotten to just let her have her way. Y'all just be quiet. You're stronger than her. Bullshit. She's stronger than I am. I can tell you that. Because I struggle holding back. But I'm just about ready not to hold back no more. I can't hardly take it. I don't like wasting things, but I'm about ready to. So I'm going to close because I got to get off of here. I got to calm myself down so I can go to bed.